Namaste. Happy International Yoga Day. This is a great thing for humanity to be taking yoga this seriously. What I want to add to this is that we have a small understanding of what yoga actually is, although it has spread around the world as far as postures and asanas. I spent a few years in India and I was taught 9 different forms of yoga. One of which is the Hatha Yoga, the asanas and the postures that are world known globally. The second form of yoga is called Jnana Yoga, and it's about the mind and studying the mind, analyzing oneself, seeing the connection between what we think and how we feel, emotions and thoughts. This is an introspective study that brings in a practice called Swadhyaya. It's a very important part for modern civilization, just as important as our body, because our minds are generally rambling around, I could almost say out of control for most people. You can't turn off your mind, most people. You can learn to turn off your mind and simply be in this peaceful state, what we call peace of mind, which is a great thing to attain and to get to. Jnana Yoga is a way of getting to that place. A very separate thing from doing poses. You can be sitting in a chair doing Jnana Yoga. Third part, what I have also found very important is Pranayama Yoga. We can hear when we go to a yoga class, the teacher will say, don't forget to breathe. However, it's not integrated well enough. And in my studies in India, it was there. Every movement had an exhalation, an inhalation, learning how to breathe with all three parts. The abdominal breath, which looks like this. The midsection breath, which is done with the rib cage. And the upper section breath, the whole rising and falling of the chest. These three are united into what's called Mahat Yoga Pranayama. This is the basis of Pranayama Yoga. How to breathe completely with all sections of your lungs. Basically utilizing 100% of your lungs. The average person is only using 10%. So imagine if you increase that 10% to 20%, 30%. Your body chemistry changes, your blood chemistry changes, your cells become more alive because they have the fuel they need. So it makes a big change in your life. And I attribute my hours per day of deep breathing to my longevity, which I have just had tested with DNA telomere testing, and I am 25 years younger biologically than my chronological age. That is because I keep my oxygen level much higher. Anybody can do this, but you need to practice. So Pranayama Yoga, the foundation of it, just breathe deeply. More time, more minutes or more hours per day, it will make an incredible difference in your life, the quality of your life, and the length of your life. That's the third form of yoga, Pranayama Yoga. Then we come to Karma Yoga, connected to Anahata, the fourth chakra. It is doing the right thing for yourself, for your body, action, reaction, understanding karma. Everything you do is an action that then creates a reaction of some sort. You eat good food, you will have better health. You are kind and generous with people, they will be kind and generous and helpful to you. Everything goes in these circles. This is karma. When you understand this, you're always going to be doing the best thing for everybody, helping people out, contributing to humanity, trying to bring things to a better state of health and happiness. And as you do that, everybody else starts reflecting that, and you're spreading that wave of better health and happiness. Anahata, Karma Yoga, fifth chakra, Vishuddha chakra is Raja Yoga. Now, Raja Yoga is a yoga of the mind. Like Jnana Yoga was a study of the mind and the emotions, Raja Yoga is how to use your mind. The verbal part using affirmation, mantra, sound, the visual part using imaging, imagination, and learning how to manifest the image, the dreams you want. This is a powerful part of our mental abilities. And the shirt I'm wearing, given to me by one of my students, is stating a quote from Albert Einstein: imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is the word image with nation behind it, after it. And it means using image. And what Albert was trying to tell us is that what we imagine is what creates. We have to imagine something before we create it. This is part of Raja Yoga, learning to use this imaging. We make a plan for something in our mind. If you're an architect, you then draw out this plan and you image the whole thing until you have a plan that makes sense and works. So using the imagination and using the verbal part of the mind, the sounds in your head as you are thinking, putting this together to manifest the reality you want in your life. This verbal process is also now known in medical science that when you are thinking verbally, you're actually creating brain chemistry by doing this. This is happening inside, and we have to thank modern research for seeing this and discovering it in the hypothalamic and pituitary area. The thoughts you have are translated into the vibrations of the molecules that make up your brain chemistry. And this is what's ultimately influencing and creating your body chemistry. So consider this when you're thinking. What are you thinking? Why are you thinking it? Is it productive? This is all part of the Raja Yoga. You study what your mind is doing in Jnana Yoga. You change what your mind is doing to make it more creative and positive in Raja Yoga. The sixth form of yoga connected to Ajna is Yantra Yoga. Now, Yantra Yoga is another little known form of yoga. It deals with sacred geometry, it deals with time, mathematics, and it's a way of calculating which chakra energies are working for you today, tomorrow, next day, because it changes every day. Same thing every month. You have a predominant chakra, and every year. And in fact, you are born into a dominant chakra. And that's the one that motivates you and governs your life from the inside out. So understanding this, figuring out what chakras you have and which ones you need to develop a little bit more is part of Yantra Yoga. And then the whole mandala world, sacred geometry, is a way of influencing the mind and changing the visual process into positive pictures, into something that contains beauty, like a flower, is sacred geometry. We don't create that, it's there in nature. So we're tuning into that, using these geometric symbols to reset the mind into something very positive and very beautiful. This is Yantra Yoga. Seventh form of yoga is called Mantra Yoga. So this is dealing specifically with sound in the form of harmonious musical sound. It becomes singing songs. It can be including singing your favorite song. It can be using a variety of different mantras, but it's the use of sound in a constructive, harmonious way that is uplifting and creates a joyful experience. Used in all religions of the world, different chants, whether it's Gregorian chanting or Om Namah Shivaya or the Quran, the use of sound. This is Mantra Yoga, level 7, Sahasrara Chakra. In the 9 forms of yoga, we're connecting to the 9 chakra energies. 8 and 9 are out in space. This is where you go when you actually leave your body, through consciousness of the 7th chakra into the world beyond this one. The 8th chakra brings in Laya Yoga, which is also referred to as Tantra Yoga, Kundalini Yoga. It's about energy, the invisible energy that is really directing and making everything happen in this world. We can access this energy. We can increase our ability to take in this energy to empower each of our chakras. And this is done by tapping into something which we cannot see. It's mystical, it's invisible, but you can learn to feel this energy. This is Laity Yoga. And there are many techniques involved in utilizing and taking a hold of the positive and the negative, the masculine and the feminine energies, uniting them into a force that is awakening you, creating a sense of joyful bliss that becomes sensational, even orgasmic. This is all Laity Yoga. The last final form of yoga is called Bhakti Yoga, connected to the ninth chakra, which is again out in space on the right side. Eighth chakra is out in space on the left side. Seventh chakra is here, so it makes a triangle. So Bhakti Yoga, not just Bhakti Yoga as a form of yoga, is a study of the oneness, the connection, the interconnectedness of everything, how everything is actually part of one universe. And the word universe means one verse, one song, essentially. So feeling and getting in touch with that brings in a spiritual connection that feels like definitely you're not alone. You're part of something much bigger and greater, and you are supported by that. So these are the forms of yoga. First chakra connected to Hatha Yoga, the physical. Second chakra connected to your thoughts and emotions, those that you have had, have been programmed with. Third chakra is empowering the prana, not just the oxygen to your body, but breathing in the prana that comes in your nose, goes directly into your brain and nervous system. Anahata chakra brings in the karma, the understanding of good actions, bad actions, and how all your actions are actually creating a reaction that comes back to you. And then your service to others by doing good things for others is what's the act of doing karma yoga. Fifth chakra, Vishuddha, the Raja Yoga, dealing with the creative forces of the mind and empowering that. Yantra Yoga, Ajna, understanding the mystical symbolism, the sacred geometry of the universe, which when you learn to see and read that, you find it in all cultures. The symbolism that is there in the statues, in the stained glass windows in cathedrals, in the mandalas that are connected to the chakras. Seventh one, we're getting into Sahasrara Chakra, Mantra Yoga, the actual use of sound in a harmonious, uplifting, musical way that we learn to enjoy, and it has an uplifting effect on us. Laity Yoga, one that is still mystical and fairly unknown, is actually connecting us to the whole world of quantum physics. The energy we cannot see. It's here everywhere, all around us. We are swimming in this ocean of energy. We don't need the technology. We are the technology. If we can absorb this energy, empower ourselves, and awaken to a whole new level of human existence. And then Bhakti Yoga, the divine connection. The universe is in itself divine. There's no gods outside of it putting it together. The divine nature of the universe is there, and you learn to feel that and see that everything is interconnected. And then everything you're doing is considering everything and everyone. All our relations in native tradition of North America, all our relations includes all the other creatures. So these are the forms of yoga, and contemplate this and expand your knowledge of yoga, bring it to a greater level of awareness, greater practice of all of these things, and we change the way humanity is going. Change our destiny and create a better society based on different values connected to the whole universe. Namaste. Happy International Yoga Day.